Nikki and Brie tackle Women's Evolution Week, and did Brie retire because of her in-ring mistakes? All that and more on Total Bella's After Show on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, y'all? My name is TK Trinidad, and of course, we have my beautiful hosts.
Hey, I'm back. I'm Leslie Cologne.
And I'm Monique Loveless.
Thanks, guys. How do you guys? What do you guys think of the episode?
Well,
Was this your favorite episode?
no. You're starting already with your shade?
I mean, you always
Oh, my.
say that.
I'm just a very happy person, and she's mad about that. Anyways,
boy.
I had mixed feelings about this one because I like Nikki, but then in this episode, I feel like she was very, I don't know. I just had mixed feelings. I don't know how to feel about her. And I feel bad for Brie. And I feel like I'm more Team Brie
Than
this
Team
episode.
Nikki?
Yeah, big time.
I thought this episode was one of the, I feel like it had a lot of fillers in it. So I'm feeling like this was one of those episodes that were really kind of like on the boring side.
Yeah.
Because it was like they made a point to say, oh, we're in Evolution, we have these press tours, and then how Brie felt. But then everything else to me was a filler.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just everything else around it, like the whole pep rally, all that stuff. It was just, to me, it was just like a filler. It was like,
Yeah, it felt like this is the stuff that, minus the pep rally, this is the stuff if you're in Nikki and Brie's position, like everyday life type stuff.
Right.
And it's just not
Entertaining.
compared to everybody else. So that's kind of the issue. That's how I felt too. It was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. So let's get into all of that. So do you think one of the reasons Brie decided to retire was because of the mistakes she made, or was it just, even if she didn't make those mistakes, do you think she still would have retired?
I feel like it's a combination of both. I feel like the mistake that she made in the ring pushed her to retire. I didn't think she was necessarily done already, but I did feel like, okay, that was kind of a sign, like she should just focus on baby number 2 and kind of put wrestling to the side.
yeah, I think it was a combination of things too. I really believe that what you said, just to piggyback off of what you said, is that this was the thing that actually pushed her to be like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and retire. And it was kind of weird because it was like, she just kind of retired, but there was like no, like we talked about last week,
fanfare.
there was no nothing.
Yeah.
Like she was just like, I retired. And then when we came back, I felt like she had to talk to Nikki about it in between time.
Yeah.
Before they filmed, because when they came back, she was just talking about it. And Nikki wasn't really saying like nothing except for, oh, I feel like she should go out, and this is Evolution. And, so I feel like they talked it over and not in front of the cameras.
Yeah, it just felt too like she announced that Brie announced that she retired last week. Then it got into some press outlets picked it up, but like WWE didn't talk about it.
Right.
Even in Evolution, I think that's the last time we saw her. She didn't even say, like, they didn't even do like a promo video or something like, oh, this is my last. I'm gonna, like, they didn't. For somebody who's been with the company for so long, and it appears that they're both very well liked and loved by WWE, it just felt like,
Well, I think the reason for that is because they are still ambassadors, which means that they're still part of the company.
Yeah,
so
but
even like in events like WrestleMania and stuff like that, they're still putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's why they made a big deal about it. And since she already made a big deal about it when she retired the first time, when she was ready to have Birdie
right.
at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
I feel like that's why they made such a big deal about it. So this time I felt like they were just like, oh, okay. They've already made a big deal for it once, no need to do it again.
Guess so.
I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah, it was just.
It was just like, I'm fully retired. And it was nothing. It wasn't even like a real farewell video for it or anything.
I still
like
feel
they could
like
even do that in the show too.
yeah, but I still feel like she's not done completely.
No, it feels, seeing her today, it's like those athletes who are privileged enough to acquire enough money where they can leave whenever they want to.
Yeah.
So it's just like, from listening to her talk on the show, it's just like, oh, she's over it.
Right.
Like, there's always a part of you that, a tiny part of you is like, oh, I still want to do it. But then there's the bigger chunk of you is like, nah, I'm good.
Well, and we've seen that on the show where Brian, for example, is so passionate about it, and she doesn't understand, like, why he wants to do that for the rest of his life, because that's not what she wants to do. So you can kind of tell, like, the difference in opinion there, and how she's kind of been over wrestling.
Yeah, there's it happens all the time. I think there's one guy, I think this season of football, during the game he walked out and is like, I can't compete at this level anymore, and he just dipped in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was just kind of like,
That was like a
but the
big
thing is,
deal.
if you could afford to do that,
Right.
and you're not being forced due to injury, and you're not playing because you need the money, it's just like your body and your mindset has a way of just saying it's that time. So, I guess so. Now, are we thinking that she's pregnant? I saw a couple of. I think she posted.
Yeah, she just posted and it didn't look like anything.
Yeah.
Like, if she was pregnant, I feel like she would have kind of been showing at least a little, because she had like posted something recent, like a couple of days ago, and it could be an old post. We never know.
That's true.
It could also be an old post. Like, she just had on some shorts.
Yeah.
And I mean, she didn't like she had it from above.
She had an angle too, right?
Yeah, but it was like a little bralette with like a little top and some shorts, and I didn't really see like, because I was checking for it. Yes, I was. I didn't see like no stomach or anything,
Right.
but like I said, that we never know. That could have been already taken before anything. So,
And then you never. I mean, I don't think Brie is that type of person, but you just never know.
I think
like you
she
could just
is.
shape a picture a certain way,
Right.
because you're not ready to announce it,
Exactly.
but it's a cute picture. So I
And
mean,
maybe they want to do things differently this time around. I feel like with Birdie, they were very open about it. So maybe this time they're like, okay, we're going to keep it to
But-
ourselves for a couple of months.
no. Well, technically, you're supposed to keep it to yourself for like 3 months, just in
yeah,
case.
because
Yeah.
you want to get past that
Right.
that danger
Yeah.
area. So
Right.
a lot of people keep it
Right, yeah.
kind of down, low key.
But I don't know. If you keep it low key, but then you say you want to have baby number 2. Like if they want to keep it low key, then she would just said like, we want to start a family. But it seemed like she had said it, I think in this episode, like, I can't wait to move to Arizona so we can work, like, this is what we're doing, versus, we want to, like, eventually, we see what happens. No, this is like the game plan.
That's why I'm saying I feel like it's a big tease, because she wouldn't just say it just to say it. She's been saying it in the past couple episodes, but I feel like this time around she was like, okay, this is where I'm saying we're going to start trying.
Well, it took her a long time. Well, not a long time, but the first time around, when they wanted to have a kid, it took them a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like an instant thing.
Right.
So I guess so. And Brian doesn't do quickies, so let's you have to schedule time for
Right,
that.
you got to schedule time for that. They ain't got no real time.
Yeah, that's a whole
crazy.
thing.
He's still on the road, so let's remember that.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's why
true.
you should be doing quickies.
But I don't think he does the, as far as I know, as many live shows.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he does. I think he mostly sticks to just SmackDown.
SmackDown, he might do like one, like he might be gone like 2 days.
Right.
And then maybe like a weekend or a Sunday. So what do you think of, did you guys see Bree's interview with Tyler Perry and Tiffany Haddish? Like outside of what was shown on?
No.
It was interesting. I didn't understand why.
It
Like
was
her?
weird. When she said it, I just thought it was weird. And then they had her in the junket room, how you do
Yeah.
the press junket. And it was like,
It's on their
okay,
page.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, so like, okay, what was this promoting?
Yeah,
Right.
because Bree doesn't, well, as far as I know, like she doesn't want to be like a host or in that capacity. I remember Nikki tried it a couple seasons ago, but I was just confused by it all. I mean,
I think maybe it was like a
Like a
way to
tie-in?
give her something, because you know how Nikki was doing so much because of her match. Maybe it was kind of like, all right,
But that's not even like her
brand.
brand or anything.
Yeah.
Like it
It's very
didn't
weird.
follow anything.
Yeah.
Like it didn't follow like her brand. It
Yeah.
didn't follow like even her own brand.
yeah, because I could have seen
was
Nikki
just
doing
weird.
it.
Yeah.
And then because Nikki has done stuff with E before, I could see Nikki doing it, and then on top of that, the fact that she is wrestling Ronda, and all that tie-in. But I don't know. I was
It was
confused.
weird.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I was confused when she said it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then they showed that clip, and I was just like, no, not interested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't interesting.
And Tiffany is clearly like a kind of stage. Is like.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was
So.
weird.
Now, do you think in their conversations with Brie and Nikki had mentioned that Brie almost like brings chaos to her life, no matter what it is. It's like, she started getting overwhelmed thinking about her life in Phoenix when she moves. Like, oh, I can't wait to do this, and I have all these plans, and then I want to do this, and then I want to have baby number 2. Do you think she puts it on herself, and therefore the stress kind of almost plays her in a little bit? Or, you see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't really see but I think I kind of like. Are you saying like she creates her own chaos for herself, and then it gets too stressful, and then she's like,
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because we all have, provided we don't have like super crazy lives, it's pretty standard. You wake up and you do some form of work,
right.
you do some form of taking care of the household, and then you go to bed. And it's just really dependent on how you handle or plan out those situations. But even if you handle or plan out the situations and you're stressing yourself out because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do X, Y, and Z,
right.
then you're overwhelming yourself, even though you're the one who put it on your plate.
Yes, I think so. And also what plays a part in that is the fact that she's very indecisive, like Brian said. So she's not organized. She doesn't know how to schedule her time. And even Lola told her, are you ready to be a stay-home mom, like permanently? And she's like, no. She's like, okay. So you have to plan everything out. Because she's obviously
she has the businesses and everything.
Yeah.
That's what it is. She's a procrastinator. And I can say that because I'm one of those too. She's a procrastinator. And when you procrastinate, you put it off, and then you get in these stressful situations. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. But it presses you to actually do what you need to get done. It is weird, but at the same time, it happens. Like it's a natural instinct, like a natural thing for some. And so I think that's what she is. She's just a procrastinator. And she probably just does a whole bunch of stuff that she probably don't need to really be doing. She like wake up, play with Birdie all day or whatever, and then she's like, oh, I gotta go to this press or I gotta do this. And then I feel like it's one of those things. I also feel like she just at this point, I really think that she wants to focus on family, but I don't think she knows in her mind going back to that, like you made a comeback because you focused on family, and now you wanting to go back to focus on family,
right?
But then you're going to want to work again. So Lola was right. Like she needs to plan out what she is, like she needs to plan out goals and her strategy and what she wants to accomplish, instead of just going and doing things. Because that's what she's doing now. She's just going and doing things.
Yeah, because it felt like she mentioned several occasions that she was away from Birdie, and there are if you take away economic status or economic situation, there are people that are like, okay, well, like I'm gonna go work, and my child will understand because this is what I'm gonna do, right? And then there's people like, oh my gosh, I don't like. They're gonna feel this way, and they feel worse than they feel worse off than what the child feels at the moment. And it just seems like Brie is that type of parent, and it's like, well, how are you gonna have all these businesses and then have baby number 2, and are you going to be the same? I'm assuming that's the characteristic of her as a mother. So it's like you're going to feel guilty because you can't go to their ballet lessons or their whatever, but you're still going to do a business.
Right. And I do think that her mistakes in the ring have put her more towards wanting a baby number 2, because when her and Lola were drinking, they were out partying, she was just like, I want to have a baby number 2, but I really don't know, because that's a lot. Like, I was like, okay, she needs to like calm down. Yeah. And if she's going to take this break, just take a break, really strategize what you want to do, in the next 5 years, like, what do you want your life to look like? Right. What is it that you want? And that's the thing that Brian was saying a few episodes ago. What is it that Brie wants? I just don't think she knows what she wants.
Right.
Yeah.
And she has never really thought about that. It's always been about everybody else and what everybody else wanted. And now it's coming back to, now that she's older, it's coming back to like bite herself.
Right. She's almost like taking care of other folks and hadn't kind of had a clear path as far as who she is to know what she wants.
And then also I feel like Brie isn't the type of woman or mother to be able to just be a stay-home mom and just put everything to the side.
Right. She's not.
So you can see that that's not an option for her. That's why she's also super confused, because she just can't be done with all of her businesses and then just focus on having a family.
Well, there's different components that you play in a business. So like, she can, if she wants to focus on the family, then, they'll need to hire somebody that's more hands-on, and then that person answers to her.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna go with that.
Right.
So it's just kind of like she does have to make those decisions, but I think she has time.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see. Now, this brings us to the whole family thing. So, Kathy, Maya, and Lola showed up in New York to support the twins, and they started talking about John's voice. How do you guys?
Oh my gosh.
What do you guys think of his?
It was so cool. I felt like it was sad but cool at the same time because you never got to see that side or like any story about him aside from that. So it was cool to see like, oh, you know, how he feels about it and how it is like bullying to him or it has bothered him in the past. And you can't really tell. Like I didn't know about that until they mentioned it in the show, the fact that his voice was like that because he got injured.
So used to it.
Yeah.
But it seems like
he got injured early on, right?
Yeah, right.
Because even his daughter was like, I've never heard his real voice.
He said it was like around 1992 where...
No, it was 1992 that he was checking to see if he could do something.
The
so it's probably a little...
Yeah, so it was, I think, around
late
that
80s.
time. Yeah.
So that's years ago.
Yeah.
So he's okay with that. Like now,
Well,
I feel like at this point, he's like,
well,
whatever.
he said it.
He did, but I didn't know it was like when they brought up the issue, it seemed like it might have been a little more recent, but that was like decades ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like 10, 12 years ago. It was more like a couple of decades ago. And now, you know, I feel like now that I understand that situation and what he said, I'm kind of like, okay, that was a filler.
Well, it was
cool to see his voice. It
provided an insight to, you know, because he's on the show and he's married to their mom. And you notice a couple of episodes, they actually refer to him as dad or stepdad and Maya as their sister. So, you know, and he's the one who hired them. So they're so intertwined. But my thing is, like, I feel like everybody was not necessarily, I don't know if the right word is bullied, but there's something about everybody's personality or characteristics or physical thing that somebody could take and make fun of in a playful way.
Of course.
So it's just kind of like,
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Like I'm thinking like Leslie Short, and I probably say that like a million times.
Yeah, she does. She says it all the time.
It was like,
when we first started, she's like, "Did you get shorter?" I was like,
sometimes
no.
it does feel like you. Like sometimes it does feel like there's little ups and downs. Yeah,
It's okay.
I'm
okay with being short.
Yeah, my nail girl's like that too. I think she's a little bit shorter than you, and it's just like, yeah. But there's things that. And I think maybe because...
she talks about me being bougie.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think because I was actually talking about this on a show yesterday, culturally, as far as Caribbean culture, like that's what we do. We just point out stuff.
Yeah.
But if I didn't like you, I wouldn't say anything. So
no, but
it's just
also in the
like,
Latin culture too, like Mexicans are super outspoken and they call you out on every little thing. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's just the way they put it in that perspective. So the fact that they're like, oh, it's bullying. But I don't think necessarily like they had
that's the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, bullying wasn't the right word at all. That was not a form of bullying. That's actually a form of saying like, I like who you are.
Yeah.
I feel like bullying nowadays we understand bullying.
And
like,
I think it's like a form of being playful. Like I don't think the people were intentionally being like, oh hey, I'm gonna make fun of your voice because it's funny. You know, it's just
if that were the case, I think they would do it behind his back instead of in front of his face.
And then also like I feel like it became a part of his character. So who he was, and like Nikki said, like he came out as a raw general manager with his voice, so everyone knew it. So I think that's why like it intertwined like with who he is as a person.
So maybe it was a filler, and he was like, okay, I'll just go with it.
Because it was random.
So another filler, which I don't know. Well, one thing, okay, so Nikki decided to have the pep rally. So what did you guys think of all this?
I was with Brie. I just thought it was stupid.
It was weird. I don't understand why.
Like I don't understand why she this is the moment where I'm sorry. Everybody knows I love Nikki. I love her to death. But this was a narcissist moment to me. Like it was just a narcissist moment.
Right.
And that's how I felt about it. Like, it was really pointless.
Do you feel like she did it just to have more attention on her and her match?
I did. Yeah, I do.
And it makes sense because, like, throughout the whole episode, you could see her keep saying, you know, oh, I'm the one main eventing. It's all about me and me and me. And then they were like, oh, Nikki, we have a special, like, cheer for you. So it's more hyping her up.
And that's why I didn't understand why she felt like Bree should be so, like, Gabby, oh, my gosh, yes, I'm so excited. Like,
Gabby in the chat says, who doesn't love a good pep rally? And she says she gets called short all the time, so I guess you're really short, too.
It's okay. Embrace your shortness. You know, guys
Vertically
like shorter
challenged.
girls.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is so annoying. I do see these
It's
it's always it's the super tall ones, like the ones who are like 6'8" with the girl who's like 5'2". It's like, what are you gonna do with that? She's at your kneecap. I don't understand. I'm so
See,
confused.
she's a hater because she wants a tall man
I know.
so bad.
Yeah, but it's just so weird. I don't understand. Like, I understand.
Can fix the problem.
I understand when you're laying down, it doesn't matter, but it's just like on a visual perspective, it's just the difference is so ginormous, and I don't understand it. It's so
Well,
confusing.
It is what it is. I am sorry to tell you that.
What are you trying to say? You
I
dating
think
somebody?
it's cute.
No, I am not. I am not.
Oh, I have
Everyone
somebody
at
for
the-
you.
Oh God, you
She
do?
said it so convincingly in the camera.
He's
I think she's
cute,
dating
too.
somebody anyway. So we're not here for the pep rally. Lilian Garcia, I didn't know she was a former. What is she doing now? Because they said former ringer announcer on her title.
Yeah, because she's not part of WWE as a ring announcer anymore. You
Yeah,
did.
but what she do? But what did she do?
For a while she was doing her podcast.
Yeah, she still
Chasing
does.
Glory.
She's still doing. She's
Yeah,
still doing
she
it.
does that.
But
I
that's not
think-
affiliated with WWE. It's not on their network.
No. I think I really don't know what her her career is now.
You think she's a producer, maybe?
No.
For the ring announcers?
I don't think she's part of WWE anymore. At all. Like, I feel like she'll come in for like certain events like Evolution and stuff like that.
But you
'cause
don't think she travels?
No, at all. I feel like she's done with that. Yeah.
Well,
'cause-
Joseph, let us know because you know everything.
and I do miss her. I feel like she was one of the best ring announcers that WWE had.
Well, I mean,
like
they're
her.
coming out with a lot. They've just hired quite a few of them, especially
Yeah.
in NXT. So we'll see. But let's get to Evolution. So essentially, Nikki and Brie are in New York for Evolution. They're doing this whole press tour and all this other stuff. And pretty much it's going to be the last time you're going to see the Bella Twins together in the ring. So they're making a big deal. It felt like the show was making a big deal of it versus when it happened back in October. Nobody was really talking about
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. If it was really a big deal, Brie wouldn't be valeting. Like, she's in a different position where she can wrestle. She could have been part of a match. That whole pay-per-view could have been completely different. If it was going to be all about her and her retirement, they could have made her main event with Nikki against, like,
No.
something else. But
No,
I don't know.
that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she was just kind of felt some type of way, so she was just like, "Well, I'm done anyway."
Because it feels like the mistakes maybe the mistakes didn't happen, and I know they happen all the time, but because of who she is and because there's a certain part of the WWE universe that doesn't feel the Bella Twins because of the era that they started.
Yeah.
I think the network call, the heads, they decided not to do that or even put her in what was it, like it wasn't a ladder match or the Royal Rumble match.
Royal Rumble, yeah.
So I don't think she would have
Well,
done
that wouldn't have made sense either because, like Nikki said, they were back as the Bella Twins.
Right.
So they do everything together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I don't know, it's hard. But like I've said before, Nikki and Brie have very different wrestling styles. And for me personally, I like more of Nikki's wrestling style. It's more empowering to me and it's more like, oh, like, damn, she's really good in the ring.
Because she
compared
does
to, like,
CrossFit
Brie.
and a lot of like more lifts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like you could be a really good like high flying like Brie as in a striker, but I don't know. Like I said when she came back, I couldn't really watch her matches. It was too cringy for me.
I feel like a lot of people felt that way, and that's why she said,
Yeah.
"I'm retiring."
Well, yeah, because sometimes your body, like everybody's different. Because you have some women who are athletes, and they have their baby, and literally they're back on the basketball court or the track,
Yeah.
whatever. And then sometimes people have babies, and it's just like your body will never be the same. Not necessarily in a negative way. It's just your body's different.
Right.
So it's like maybe this profession is just not, her body's like, yeah, we ain't doing that anymore.
I think her mind is too.
Yeah,
like I really
definitely.
don't. I really think that I think that was one thing that she did determine. I felt like when she had a kid, she was like, when she had Birdie, she was just like, okay, my priorities are different.
Yeah, and she's
And
also in a
the
financial
feeling-
place too where you can navigate a little bit more.
Yeah, the feeling of, I guess, being a mom, because I'm not a mom, so I don't really know how it is, but I guess the feeling of being a mom can sometimes change your emotions towards things too. And I think that was another thing that she really, I feel like she's over the body part. I don't feel like she cares about that. I feel like
Yeah.
she really cares about, like, okay, I have a family. What do I want to focus on? She's in that decisive mode again
Right.
of torn between motherhood and her career in the ring.
I think that also comes too with people who procrastinate, because like she's caught up between procrastinating, but then she's also a planner, but then she like has some sort of plan, but she's not decisive in the plan, and then she doesn't think about it, and then she procrastinates, and then she's at this point.
Yeah.
Opposed to like, okay, well, these are my personality traits, and then I'm just gonna go with the flow, because me planning something or me having some type of thing, it might not work for her.
It can be hard though, because in your mind you have a FOMO. Fear of missing out. Like you feel like you're going to miss out on something. If I choose wrong, then I have to blame myself, and I chose wrong and I didn't like that. And then what am I going to do after that? So that is a cycle of, I will say this, that is a cycle that goes through my mind as you're a procrastinator. And that's why, because you always either have FOMO or you have a fear of like, what if I choose wrong? And then I have to, or
deal with the consequences.
Yeah, deal with the consequences, basically.
I guess maybe because I think differently. Like my thing is, okay, you have a fear of missing out, and if you choose not to do this, and then you decide to stay at home, and then you see all the pictures, you're like, dang, I missed out. Okay, like I don't understand how that. Like I understand that, but then it's like you might have to make a shift in your mentality and be like, okay, well, I don't want to miss out, so I'm going to do these things, and that didn't work for her.
That's why I think it's no longer a body issue for her. It's a mind and emotional issue for her, because she is at a point right now where if she leaves the ring, she sees Nikki going off and doing big things, and history being made in the Divas division now, or the women's division.
Thank you.
I corrected myself. Thank you, before somebody decided to cut me off. But no, I'm just playing. We love
women empowerment. That's the whole point.
The Women's History Month. Yes. So I just feel like when you, and that's the thing, it's not a mind thing to where it's like fear of missing out. Like, oh, okay, I see the pictures and I'm here with my baby, and I'm gonna just shift my mind and think like, oh, I'm here with it's literally like a guilt. Like, oh my gosh, I know I'm here with my child or whatever, but the love and the guilt I feel for not being there, that is like a real,
it's so weird to me.
Especially right now, because the women are doing so much, they felt that even more. So that's why when they got the call, she said yes right away.
Well, I get it, but again, it's one of those things where you like, if she's retired, and and she does have that mindset of the fear of missing out. It's like, okay, well, you have to think of all the positives, because the thing is, they have so many women coming in now that they're not going to be like, the fact that the Bella twins and Nikki and Brie individually have names that they can go out in mainstream media and create a wine line and all this other stuff. Like, a lot of these girls coming in are not going to have those opportunities. So it's like, okay, you're missing out on all these things, but you came in 10 or 12 years ago, and you've had enough of a career that now you can go and have baby number 2 and not have to work a 9 to 5, or not have to like, oh my gosh, WWE's dropped me, what am I going to do? So I feel like, if this is the case, and obviously I'm not a doctor, we're just watching the show, I don't know what you're doing when the cameras go off, but if that's the case, it's like you just need to shift the mentality of, okay, well, I'm happy for them, I'm still part of the organization, and me and my money and my husband and my babies are gonna do this, and then when you need me to pop up, I'll pop up.
That's the problem. She's indecisive.
Yeah, a mind shift is not as easy as you think it is, especially when you have. That's why I say I'm not a doctor. When you are a procrastinator. When you are a procrastinator, a mind shift is not as easy, because like, she has been successful thus far. So in her mind, it's not even, I feel like, I'm not going to speak for her mind, but I will say this. I feel like maybe it's one of those things where it's like, in your mind, it's not a big deal, but to you it's a big deal. So you're not looking at anybody else. You're not looking at anybody else. Like, you're not looking at anybody else's coming in and doing this and doing that. You're just like, oh man,
well, you want to be
I
me.
should. It's on me. Like, I'm here with my child, and that's cute, but I want to be there now that I see this. And it's a feeling that I don't think that you can describe to people unless you're in that place.
Well, I'm not in that place. Also, her other half is her sister, literally, and they've done so much together as wrestlers together. So for her to see Nikki do it on like big events, like Evolution and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
that's why I don't think she could have said no.
Well, I think too, because of her decisiveness, that's why Nikki, not necessarily like there's a huge separation between the two, but with Nikki, it's just like she full on admitted on stage in front of a whole bunch of people, like, yeah, if the roles were reversed, I'll do it, but I'm not about that. Yeah. And it's just like Nikki is very driven. She said when she played sports, she was always the one that, she captain. Put it on, that was the captain. She put it on herself to make the last winning shot. She did all this other stuff. So it's two different mindsets. Right. So it's just like it's almost like she needs to take a page out of Nikki's book and just be selfish. Selfish in a good way. Because Nikki, she obviously loves her family. She obviously does certain things. But when it comes to career, she's one-track mind. So it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to shift and I'm going to retire, then I need to pick 1 or 2 or 3 things that I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Right. Versus looking at other things and like, oh, well, I wish I was here. I wish I was there. It's like, nah, we're doing this for this time period. Like, if I want to work on a kid, then you need to make sure that Brian, like, you set up the whole, because you don't want a quickie time. You make sure that's all that you kind of set other things up.
The only thing about that is that for some reason, Nikki always gets in her head. So even if she wants to be firm about her decisions, she's always there in the back of her mind. Well, why are you going to do this? Like we saw in this episode, she was set on retiring, but then she's like, I don't know. I don't feel like you're ready. Let me try to influence you to not do it. And then she starts thinking about it. And that's why she's indecisive, because she doesn't know what she wants. And her sister plays a big part in that.
Well, I mean, they're twins, too.
I know, but that's why where I feel like where I was kind of torn, because I love Nikki as well, but I feel like she was very selfish in this episode.
She had a right to be, but I don't think she should have. The only part I will say is that I don't feel like she should understand. I know they're twins, and I know she wants Brie to be excited just as much as she is, because they've been in the game for so long. But at the same time, I definitely feel like she should have let Brie feel whatever she felt, and Nikki should have gone about her way and did whatever she wanted to do.
Right, but it's hard because Nikki has more of a dominant personality, so it's hard because this is what I suffer from. It's like, not suffer, but this is what I could attest to. It's like, to somebody who has a dominant personality and you're like off doing this, and it's like, well, if you didn't want to do this, or you felt a certain type of way, and obviously they weren't going to give her Nikki's position, but if you wanted to do something else, then you should have spoke up for yourself instead of keep saying, oh, well, if the roles are reversed. Well, the roles are not going to get reversed. So
not in WWE.
In your mindset, it could have been like, well, yeah, we came as the Bella Twins, but how am I going to be happy in my last time in the ring?
You know what's crazy to me? Sorry, it just came up. I don't know if you guys know, but when the Bella Twins debuted, it was just Brie wrestling. So what they would do is Brie would come in, and then whenever she was like beat up or something, she would go under the ring, and then Nikki would come out.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So there would be like identical.
So you didn't know.
It was only like Brie Bella coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then eventually they pulled one out. They pulled another one out. They're twins. And then that's how the Bella Twins came to be. Fun fact, your history. Google it. It's on YouTube. It's pretty entertaining.
All right, let's get into some news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, guys. We have some dating rumors, and they are true. Nikki Bella is out and about with her new boo, Artem, her former Dancing with the Stars partner. So they were out in LA recently.
It's not gonna last.
And there you go. There's the proof.
Why don't you think it's gonna last?
Sorry to break it to you, but she is not with John Cena. You think her and John
are still together?
No. I mean, I want them to be, but this.
You think it's a rebound?
Yes, big time.
He doesn't even like even his demeanor.
Passion.
Yeah,
it's not real. It's for the camera.
Goodbye.
Well, he comes off the same way as he seems like that dude that he's not gonna be like how Brian is with Brie. Like he's like gushing over his wife. Like John Cena wasn't like that either until later on.
I don't expect her to have anybody who's gushing, but I definitely don't.
Artem seems like that type as well. He's not like, he's gonna play it cool, and if you kind of take away the layers, then you're gonna know if he likes you or not.
No. I just feel like
it's not real to me.
Right. I think he's a rebound, and I think because it felt comfortable, she went with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think to get him out of the dance thing, he's with her.
I don't think
to get
he's
him out of the
using
dance
her.
thing. You think he's using her?
No, I don't
Oh.
think so. No. I watched the show. I see how he is. He would not be the person to do that. He could have done that with anyone else. He's not
He
her
has a
only
different
partner.
Yeah, every year.
I believe that he's not her only partner, but still, what did Juliana Huff do? The same thing. Like, she was Dancing with the Stars. If you want to start something different and new, and you don't want to just be in the lane that you once were in, he's getting a different light now.
What,
like
wrestling?
now,
It does not make sense. That's why
no,
make
it
sense.
doesn't. She's a celebrity now.
Yeah.
Nikki's known mainstream, not just for wrestling. So now he knows that the cameras are always on her, especially with her dating life. This creates a new lane for him. There are people calling his phone that weren't calling his phone before.
True.
Guarantee you that. I don't think, honestly.
So you think it's a business move from his part?
I feel like it is a business move from his part.
That's so mean.
I feel like it's a business move. No, it's not. I don't think that he doesn't like her, and I don't think that he's using her, but I do think it is a business. This is a great business move.
I do agree with you that, especially in LA, no matter where you fall, as far as celebrity, hierarchy, dating is just an interesting thing in LA. And the thing is, too, it's like you have like two options. You can go out there and date a bunch of people that you don't know, and you have to get to know them and do all this other BS, or somebody that you have who you consider a friend and you've established a relationship and there's chemistry there, so you've already skipped 5 steps that you don't want to, because like having conversations with people about like
life
about things you have to say over and over again is the most annoying thing to me.
Well, and then
he could have
also, like,
shut
at her
this down.
age.
But he could have shut this down too. He could have said, "No, I don't want to. You just got out of a relationship not too long ago with John Cena. I want this to be real between us.
Right.
No cameras, no nothing. I don't want anybody to know."
Technically, they were dating for what, 6 years?
Yes.
So they were dating.
They're
for
about to get married.
Yeah. But according to, I really need to pull up this because I use this statistic all the time. For every year that you're together, it should be 1 month.
Yeah, it's 6 months.
So she was technically. I think the picture started surfacing in December. So and then she broke up with John before the summer.
Before May, because their wedding was going to be on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So then it's been 6 months.
I think they're having fun with one another, and I think this is a good business move for him.
Well, it is what it is. Not our dating life. Have fun.
I know Leslie's dating 6'8" dudes.
I don't know how to date. Dating is hard.
She just threw a whole bunch of guys at you. Dang.
Dating is hard, guys.
Is hard.
Dating is hard.
You're still in college. Dating should be easy.
No, dating is hard.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Leslie looks like she wants love.
Yes,
Well,
I am
you're in the wrong
those
state.
lovey-dovey type of girls.
You need to go to Utah.
Next
You know
season
me.
is, yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Next, anyways, enough about my personal life. It is WrestleMania season, guys, so make sure you tune in. WrestleMania is in 3 weeks, where you will see the women headlining. They're going to be the main event, so Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. So tune in for that. You definitely should watch that. It's WrestleMania. It's a big event of the year.
She would not watch all that. That's a long. That's like
will
8
watch
hours.
it.
It is.
I'm not
like
gonna
8
watch
hours.
it. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but I will watch.
You should watch that match.
Yeah, I'm gonna at least watch that match. And yes, I don't know if you watched last show when you weren't here, but I did.
Shame.
I did watch Nikki Bella's Evolution match.
Good job. Good job. All right. I'm proud. Anyways. And then your host for WrestleMania will be the one and only Alexa Bliss, former Total Diva star.
Yeah, I wonder what's Joseph
Up
let
with
us
her.
know. Is she
Yeah.
like no longer injured? Or is she still injured? What's going on with her?
Yeah, I want to know. I don't understand this whole like talk show host type of person.
I mean, she's good at it. She's always been great at the mic. So, and considering that there's a lack of storylines for a lot of the women on SmackDown and Raw.
Except for Ronda.
I
really feel like I see Gabby in the chat says Becky better win. I feel like I don't want to watch I feel like I don't want to watch the match because they're going to have Ronda win.
No,
It
it's
depends.
WrestleMania. You don't know.
Yeah,
no,
it
it's
depends.
been her reign
'Cause it
has
might
been
be
so long already.
a change of a storyline.
Yeah,
I hope so.
that this is
because
the
I really
event
feel
where it
like
can
for
happen.
I really feel like for Evolution they should have had Nikki win. That would have been a good.
It wouldn't have made sense because she can't
no.
pull up
Yeah.
the title. She can't wrestle every week anymore.
Yeah, Nikki wouldn't have won.
That's why it made sense for her not to win. You have to look at like the facts. The fact that she's injured, she can't wrestle every week. She can't hold the title.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like watching another Ronda Rousey.
Well, here's the thing. The whole thing with Ronda Rousey, I'm hoping it's going to change the tide, meaning that, she'll drop the belt, but this is when the other girls from NXT come up, and now they have a faction. And now that faction tries to destroy the women's locker room, and you have Ronda going through that either until the point she gets the belt back or somebody in the faction gets the belt back, or she takes off time to go film a movie, which is possible.
And then also, a lot of her friends from MMA are in NXT now.
That's what I just said.
Oh. Really? Did you just say it like that?
Well, the shadiest moments have arrived, clearly.
Anyways. Go ahead.
Shayna Baszler, Ronda was
They
her coach,
clearly
and Ultimate
are.
Fighter.
Oh my god.
Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, anyways, she has friends. They could do a 4 horsewomen
I just said a faction.
storyline.
Did I not say
I don't understand that word.
And congratulations to fellow Canadian Lilian Sang. She's also a WWE. She's not like a legend. She's an ambassador. No, she's one of those like celebrities that are affiliated with WWE.
So like Maria Menounos.
Yeah, I don't know what the official title is, but congratulations to her. She got a talk show, which is gonna be interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think she might be the first Indian descent person, like forget man or woman, who's had a talk show in the U.S.
Cool.
So we'll see. Shadiest moments, or are you done with the news?
Yeah.
Okay. Shadiest
done.
moments.
For me, it was kind of like just the little bit of moments where Nikki would be like, it's my main event, and I'm main eventing, and I'm known for the booty popping thing, and I'm known for this, and it's my main event. I was like, okay, I get it. You're main eventing. Your sister's right here.
I felt like the shadiest moment was that damn pep rally. Like, what?
Oh, and shout out to Paige. She was there too.
Yeah, shout out to Paige. I really like Paige.
I think the shadiest moment is when Nikki was like, or when Brie was gushing about like, I can't wait to go back to Phoenix and do this and do that, and Nikki was literally like,
Okay.
I'm pretending I'm listening, but I'm
Yeah,
really not.
yeah.
Like there was that look in her face, like, yeah, this is some
I could
BS.
care
I
less,
don't. We're just not. We're here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say any predictions for next week.
Ooh, well, okay. This is kind of given. The mystery man is Artem. It's so obvious, but it's kind of
It'd
interesting.
be kind
to
of funny
me.
if there's somebody totally different, but
Yeah, I'll be shocked. So.
Oh my gosh, she said I'll be shocked, but I know. If it is Artem, I do want to see his interaction, but I'm going to stick with what I said. I definitely believe he's a rebound, and on his part, this is a good business strategy.
Dang.
maybe she needs like to skip the getting to know people, like a Patty Stanger.
Yeah, I was gonna say she should go on that show.
Some I don't know about go on the show. I mean, she could go on the show, but she just seems private in that new dating phase that you can hire somebody that is like a Patty Stanger who will sift out
Men for you.
Yeah. Like
I'm telling you, because it's a rebound, and he knows that, and he's using it as a business strategy.
Hey, to each their own.
Anywho,
To each their own.
Yep. This season's kind of been very
We're almost done.
I think the theme song will be
Next
like
week.
Ordinary People, John Legend. It's very like, these are, I mean, obviously it's not everybody's lives, but these are things that people are going through. And let's be honest, like if you're on Instagram and social media, you highlight the peaks or, the valleys, but you don't highlight the middle stuff because it's boring. Nobody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
So I think part of the season was just very like, day-to-day mundane stuff. That's why you had them going axe throwing, and you had them doing this, and you had them doing that, because Nikki's trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, and Brie as well, in two totally different directions. So anywho, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining in. Also shout out to the comments that you guys have been doing on YouTube. Give us 5 stars or better on iTunes. If you're not subscribed to AfterBuzz TV, reality TV, make sure you do that. Also subscribe to AfterBuzz Sports and Wrestling. Other than that, where can everybody find you guys?
I'm Monique Loveless, and you can find me everywhere at Ms. Mo Loveless. And make sure you check out my website, MoniqueLoveless.com.
Okay. I'm Leslie Colon, and you can find me at _Leslie Colon. Let's talk wrestling. Let's talk WrestleMania. I'm so excited. Okay.
I thought you had a podcast or something. It's like, I'm going to be on this. No, okay.
No, not yet. I'm just a college student.
Oh, gosh. I can't.
My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. And you can find me on my new website at tktrinidad.com.
Hey, look at her.
Whoa.
She got her website.
See you guys next week. The shade is so real with these ones.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.